Greetings everyone, hello and welcome back to Anno Extreme. Well, extremely fun it is, I should say, extremely addictive, because I just love this island the more I'm looking at it. Well, of course, it's Blastium, the island that we took over from Concordia in the last episode, and it's just getting better and better. You know why? But because, of course, we do have Aquasarius over there, and Aquasarius has a problem, and that is space. It has a very positive thing for us, though, and that is grapes. We don't need grapes, because I want to boost my income a few more, well, inches up. And I do want wine for this. And as we can see, wine provides a really nice income boost to all of my tier 3 and tier 4 population of +3 coin. Also happiness, which is something that we probably should provide. Right now, Capua is celebrating the great victory over Concordia, with my troops coming back home, celebrating, well, the power of the Roman Empire, that is. And yeah, to celebrate this further, I would like to provide some more alcohol. And that is where Aquasarius comes in. Right now, we're producing a lot of porridge on the island. And also, we have the Sanderax over there. And you know what? Sanderax is also something that we have in Blastium. So this island is just really nice in this. We already have the porridge production here that, of course, we're going to continue boosting now. Let's just check it out. In Aquasarius, we have the 10 production right now that I want to get in. And in Blastium, we have already 6 tons. So getting another 10 tons in here shouldn't be a major problem, especially when we consider the mountainsides we have, because we could use an aqueduct here to boost my farming area even further. And I think out of all the places, yeah, this is probably gonna be my farming area. There's also hemp here already. Nice. Let's have a look at Capua, because we do have some concrete in. And let's get me some 100 tons of concrete over. Also the tiles. We have plenty of that available. Let's get them down here. Boy, we have a bit of work to do. First of all, the villa here is really centrally situated. This is also nice, of course, because we can use a specialist here, for example, telling the markets in range, producing a bit more money. How many markets do we have in range? Yeah, 1. That's probably not gonna be that much, right? It's a bit of more money coming in out of this one. The Sanctuary and Phenoms believe in range. 1. Nice. Okay. And then we have a Rusa of Knossos. Belief from oysters with caviar if supplied. Oh god, that's completely useless. Let's not have a look at the villa there any further. Let's rather repair the buildings that we have and also delete some of them. So I just realized we also have a weapon production here. Yeah, let's rebuild the iron mine, by the way. Let's have the iron here, right? Because this is not the best location for the aqueduct. This is a much better location for the aqueduct. So I would like to use this here then right away. And yeah, let's continue with more fields. And of course, the cool thing here is that we can use the aqueduct over the fields, right? So the fields do not block this area at all. So this is something I'm gonna enjoy quite a bit. That's 80, 80, 80, and this one here has 60. So this is fine. And then we can have another one here, right? By the way, yeah, the ground texture is blocking my fields. That's also something I just learned. And let's have this one here and here. And now we could make the aqueduct source then working there. It's probably, I mean, there's another mountainside here for the city itself then. I will definitely provide that. But for the farms, I'm probably going to use this one up there. It's just needing the concrete that is coming in at this point. And we should really use the aqueduct, honestly, because it's a lot of fields that we're going to need, right? And now we can place them. We look at that. That's, it's going to be expensive. Let's have them down here. And I think here I could already work with my first cistern, right? Somewhere here. Yeah, that's gonna be okay, I guess. That's cistern number 1. And cistern number 2 we could provide then over there, right? But this is already now boosting all the fields. There it is. Water is coming in. Upgrading the road here just a tiny bit. And let's just have it upgraded over up to this point. There you go. Expands its reach. And we can do the same thing for this road to further get the range over there. Very good. So this was powerful. And around that cistern, we can now have a bunch more fields that are just producing more goods. So this one. And then another one here, together with its fields, please. Going all the way over there. So both of them are boosted. And then, wait a second. Yes. This one here can be boosted as well. With all of the fields that we have in this area. Isn't that cute looking? I love the scenery here. And with this out of the way, we're producing now some additional porridge. By the way, we don't need that ground clutter. Who needs that ground clutter anyway? And I should be able to use another field here. Defensive pact, I'm gonna decline. And non-aggression pact, I'm also gonna decline. Because you never know when you need it. We're also doing some contracts in the background to get some additional money in. Because money really is my issue currently. We don't have enough of that. Alright, with the boosting, we're producing 22 tons of oats. That's crazy. That's way too much. Alright. What kind of boost do we get out of that? Oh, it's different. The Boon of Ceres is also coming in, of course. Yeah, we get 40% out of the Goddess and 50% out of the Aqueduct. And for the hams, how's it looking here? It's also 12 tons. I love this. That's great stuff. That's a lot of porridge coming in now that we can pour into Kapur then. And yeah, up here, I think would be a nice smaller location for the first productions that we have done. There you go. And let's also upgrade that warehouse here to make sure that we have the capacity for all of this. Another bridge over there would help us out greatly then as well. Probably gonna need a few more porridges though. We have them over here, so let's just continue. That's my tannery, that's the sheep farm, that's out of place here. We don't need it. And then I could have another block of porridge just here. Perfect. There's the ground clutter again that she's adding everywhere. She added everywhere. And another warehouse here. And the ground clutter, let's get rid of that again. Because it's actually blocking space for whatever we have. People request my decision. Okay, there's a woman. The matron complains that her willful daughter has refused her betrothal to an elderly, wealthy senator. Okay, the father has deceased though now. Therefore, the young woman is free from the authority of patria potestas. Legally, you may assume that role now. Or we give the woman her will, marrying her off to the senator. This gives me on all islands in Blastium. Okay, prestige and happiness reduction. Or the happiness boost. Allow her to marry her lover. Gives me a nice happiness boost on this island that I want. Prestige is not that important to me right now. At least on this island. This is going to be a great artisan district here, by the way. So we can add more buildings then. Now. The porridge will not be an issue anymore. Right, so that's the important thing. By the way, this one does not have... I don't want to push more buildings though, for now. With that, we have now a porridge production of 17. In Aqua Series, it was only 10, right? So we basically boosted it up quite a bit. However, we consume 6 here. In Kapur, we do need 8 in total. So, of course, if we select all of them, we have a nice surplus now of porridge, right? That's the important thing. So I can go ahead now and redirect the trade route that we have rolling right now. Aqua Series has the trade route here now with the porridge. We are full on porridge in Kapur, by the way. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. We still continue with the Murik snail, of course. And here we also get rid of the porridge now, right? Of course, we will still need to manually unload the porridge that we have left over. Otherwise, it's gonna clog it up. And since we're so full on porridge, I just throw it overboard. The savage that I am. It also means that we can now get rid of all of the porridge production here, save for one, right? Because I still want to provide, of course, that to the population here. So let's get rid of all of this. And then I'm also going to get rid of all of the porridge production over there. I'm going to have the porridge kitchen over here. That's just for the population now. And now we have all of a sudden a lot of workforce over again. And by the way, here, let's also get rid of the wood production. I don't need that anymore. If I need wood, I'm just going to transport it over. Space is much more important. And of course, it's the space that we can have here now for the grapes. The vineyards. This is something I really want to have. How much wine do we need right now in Capua? It's 3 tons. So those 3 tons are adding up to 5 vineyards. We have 6, so let's just build all of them. We have a mountain slot, so it could boost them. Of course we're gonna do this. I do, however, need more trade ships. Let's get the next civilian going. Of course, we can also get rid of this trade route here now, right? That's the trade route with just the Murex snail. So let's delete this one, because we have, of course, here now the honey, the sandrak, and now also the Murex that we can transport on this single trade route. This saves me a ship. So let's take this one. And now, oops, sorry. Now I can say take a new trade route that goes now from Blastium to Capua. And here we're going to say now the ship that we just redirected. And this one's going to take the porridge now over. It's a very short trade route, so 1 slot should be fine. And bear in mind, of course, we're going to add more goods here then. We still have this one here now with the Murex and the Sandrax and the honeycombs. The honeycombs is another thing that we could get over to Blastium, because here we have just a lot of space. There's already my next ship. This one's gonna be for the grapes then, because we are gonna need, of course, our own trade route for this. So, of course, if I'm building a bigger ship, which is still taking some time, we could actually have everything included in one trade route. Let's wait for that 2 tons of sales, and then we can make this one into one trade route only. I'm gonna need some reinforced concrete now for the aqueduct that I also want to finish then over here for the boosting that we get out of that. Finally, the contract can be finished. That's a bit of money coming in. We want all the money in the world right now. And let's get my ships back home. By the way, with such a massive army that we have, look at that, by the way. Neff, you should really build a pier. Trading pier. There is a traffic jam in your harbor. Hito has the 5 tons of crates as well, or 41 tons of weapons. How many weapons do we have? We have a lot of weapons. I'm inclined to give him the weapons. I don't think it has any influence on his power, right? That's 13,000 denarii coming in. I love this. Let's deliver the weapons. Don't forget, we also have a second weapon production now in Blastium with 180 tons of weapons already sitting around here. So this is really great. And by the way, while we're in Blastium as well, let's get me my harbor defenses rolling. That's the wooden archer towers. And yeah, this is gonna cost me workforce again, but I'm fine with that. And do we not have a bit too much fish production here? No, it's the mackerel production, right? No, it's the sardines. There's the mackerel. How many mackerels do we have? How many mackerels do we need? Oh, we have, only 2 tons, but we only need 1 for the garum production. That is in surplus. Now onwards to my wine production that we have here with the vineyards. By the way, we probably should also upgrade that warehouse here. And then I'm gonna go ahead. And don't forget, this is a low volume good production that we need. Let's have the aqueduct going down here a bit. Towards my... Yeah, let's have this one. What's the range? Nah, it's not enough for getting the farming and the city in. I'm just gonna have this aqueduct here. And we're just gonna have then my aqueduct rolling around through that. And around that we're having then the farms. Yeah, that's 150 fields. That's a lot. So the boosting here is absolutely required. Otherwise, you're probably going to run out of space. They're not getting boosted by water, unfortunately. That is a miscalculation on my part. I thought every farm would be available. Do we have a tack that can do this? Okay, the apiaries can be boosted. There is a boost down here. We do have another aqueduct plantation boost here. But this is for Albion as far as I can see. But it doesn't say that. And the vineyard is a plantation. So theoretically, this probably will still work in the future. So let's just keep it rolling as is. And we might actually get attacked there soon. Okay, so that's the 4. With a 4 production now, right? This is enough theoretically. So I'm gonna wait now for my ship to be finished, and then we can add this one to the trade route. You know what? Let's have a bit of a surplus there, because I don't want to have it too tight. And let's have one more here. There. And then we have more space here for even more plantations. And there's my new tier 2 trade ship in all its glory. A nice trireme there as well. And this one we can now use on this bigger trade route, right? So the ship is right in the harbor, so I'm gonna manually do this. Add now my trader's owl, as it's called. And here I'm just gonna add now the grapes as well. So this is finished. Off it goes. This one we're gonna manually unload. Alright, so that leads me to one more thing, and that's the honeycomb. We just will boost the production of the honeycombs right over here. And I'm also able now to turn in that quest for a lot of money. Thank you very much. Neth. The other very important thing that I would like to do in Blastium is my flax production. So I'm gonna use the farm area over here again, where we already have this, right? And we do have in Kapur the total demand of the togar only 2 tons right now. So the flax we're importing completely right now. The demand for this is sitting at 1 ton. So we could say 3 to 4 tons would be fine for a long time. The flax farm itself produces every 90 seconds. This is getting boosted by the aqueduct to 1 minute. So I think, yeah, 4 farms should be fine. Let's just check it out how many we need. Where do we have the next warehouse? There it is. And this warehouse is a bit further up the grid. So I might need another warehouse then somewhere here to supply them. And I have no idea though. 140 fields. Really? Beautiful color they have. But holy cow, that's a space requirement. Okay. The cistern has a nice range, so I can afford me another one. Here, or even here, yes. Oh, really? Sorry, I need to check this out. Parrot, though. Just saying hello. To Blastium. Like us, we just built some harbor defenses. Nasty. Yeah. Can still have something tiny in here. And then I can have another one over here. Theoretically, this would lead now. Can we see the total production already? It's 3 tons, but I'm not entirely sure that it's the right amount. Because as you can see, we're lacking the farmers right now to make this work. Okay, but we have all the goods supplied, so it's really just a matter of buildings. There's my market. Yeah. Not entirely sure. I mean, it makes sense to expand into this area too. And then going down into the harbor area. And don't forget, you can use residential buildings as defense too. That was also used in real life in medieval times. Using residential buildings close to walls gives you extra protection. Let's just use this one here. I think we are gonna need another tavern over this area. Yeah. Up there. Solves the workforce problem again. Not my money problem though right now. The beautiful fields of flax are now fully staffed. This leads now to 4, as expected. I might even use still one more. You know what? This road we probably don't even need like so. And I can have another field here. Fantastic. And with that, we have a nice surplus. And with that, I can also have a new good added to my trade route here, which is the flax. Also, what we don't need with that anymore is the flax import in Kapur. And that makes me very happy. That's a lot of money we can save now. By the way, the workforce we also save in Aqua. We could use to build me another Murex snailery over here. to get my triples up a bit, right? The trade route is already in place. And I would also like to use this to get me a bit more honey out. 86% is fine. And then another 100% here. This affects it quite a bit actually. And I would like to have another one up here. There you go. Having a bit more honey coming in also reinforces that production. With the grapes and the honey coming in now, the only thing that's left is of course adding vintners. And vintners are really nice because they have no downside. So you can just place them and they give you a flat income and prestige boost. First of all, this area here, we get rid of the lumberjacks now and of the warehouse to really clean this area. This gives me now the ability to add me then one of those vintners. They take a lot of space though. That's their downside. Then again, that one here. And here we can connect then right away with that industry zone. And these of course are very beautiful buildings. I really like them. In that district over here. And next, of course, one is not enough. One is only producing every 45 seconds. So we need at least a second one. I'm thinking about actually deleting something here, like some houses. We have a lot of Equitas workforce. Could very well be placed here. Let's do this. That income boost is no joke. And I would also like to have one here. We can just safely squeeze it in like that in the middle. There you go. This leads to a pretty nice potential production, right? It's too much, of course, but as long as they work a bit, I'm happy because they give me that boost. And of course, we also get the wine now in, and people are paying a nice price on wine. There it is rolling in now. Regarding the garum, we already have a garum production Capua, but it's barely enough. And now Blestium comes in with its nice juices. That is the mackerel and the salt. And that means we can now add another production here. This reduces happiness, but the income boost once again is just too nice. So I'm not gonna neglect on that. Let's have a garum in here. And let's have another one over here.
Construction of a ship has finished.
And with that, the mackerel and salt should be fine on this. There it is. And the mackerel is... the mackerel actually needs to be reinforced a bit. Just see, can we have it on the ocean? No, we can't. There's a huge beach on their side. There is a beach with more space. Do it here. And I've seen some ruins over there. Holy cow. This warrants a medic. And I think we also don't have a police station here. We do. Fine. Now we have two. Oh, it was just farms usually here being destroyed. With all of that, we're closing in on the 1,000 again. Of course, we have a few more ships now than before. Also, a few more trade ships now. I think another one is still coming out. Yep. That we're gonna need for all of the new trade routes that we're gonna implement here. And with that, let's check it out again. We got the Flax and the Porridge trade, and we're gonna add now, of course, garum to this selection. So that Capua has even more garum available. I'm just gonna make it so that, of course, garum has a bit of a minimum stock here. Let's say 20 tons. So that the population can support itself. I would really like to save up on a bit more denarii now for the amphitheater, because that breakthrough is mandatory to get a positive balance out of my population. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of contracts. 56 tons of garum. We have that. 14,000. Let's accept this delivery immediately. And yeah, I mean, that's a lot of garum, right? But seriously, we do have a lot of garum, so I'm not worried about that the least. Especially for that amount of money. Looking at my workforce in Capua, I think we could also afford it to upgrade a few more peeps. Especially here, the patricians in the town center. And also here, a few more to patricians. And these guys here, to patricians. Gives me a bit more tax income there. Libertus workforce, we also have quite a bit. I mean, brings me in again with the city parameters. I really don't want to get to the next level there. Let's have these guys here upgraded, right? And that's okay now. Yeah, we still haven't reached it. But with the amount of patricians we have now, we actually unlock the next stage of the amphitheater. And we unlocked us now here the jewelry and the cloaks. Now the jewelry is actually something that I can do spontaneously because, you know, we really just need the gold mines up here in Sanctum. I could use all 3 slots, right? I mean, nah, we're using the marble here too. Do I have marble anywhere else? Ah, that's bad. The only island with marble and gold. Let's get us the Denari and just think about this for a bit longer. We got, by the way, an epic captain giving me goods transfer speed and province transfer speed. How much would that be worth it? Can we see this? We cannot see it on the thing itself. Oh, we cannot trade with her. Yeah, we're still embargoed. Might need to get it down here to Valeria. He's not an emperor representative. Unfortunately, the wine bonus is really underwhelming when it comes to happiness. Only 144, right? So none of that really makes a massive difference. And we really also don't have any penalties. So it's all about the city status once again. Oh, non-aggression pact. No thanks. Because you never know when you will need a war again. But now it looks nice and stable in Latium. So let's return again to Lindisfarne. An island we really should not neglect. And in Lindisfarne, we can do something. We can upgrade now to Alderman. And I would like to do this right here in the town center. There you go. Got us tier 3 now, the Alderman in Lindisfarne. Beautiful houses and lots of new demands. They also have a wine demand. That is something we could provide as the surplus is really high in Latium. They also have the roast beef. I've never done this production chain, so I'm looking forward to it. And they've also got now some pretty big service buildings that will unlock over time that we also haven't built here yet. Let's also have a bunch more low tiers upgraded. Over here. And over here. And I would really like to expand the city as a whole up here now. So we do have that road. So let's just continue with more blocks here. Where's my warehouse?
Give me something to work with.
That's my hearth. There's my market. I'm gonna have another market probably somewhere up here. And then I would like to continue with... yeah, something like that. Going up. You can have lots of decorations in here. Don't worry, we're gonna have decorations, of course. And let's make this one complete. Could have a service building in here. And then we have a bunch more houses. Here. Oh, this is not working? Take it like so. Now it's working. Mercatos will also be available now, the game tells me. The non-aggression pact we're gonna decline. Alright, and so we move up this beautiful, beautiful mountain with more houses. Of course, all of this demands the eel grabbers to be expanded. That would be here. And we do have the tiles. Can we do some marsh services here already? No, that still hasn't been unlocked yet. Draining the swamp. That would be into this direction, of course, because that is a very logical point to keep the city expansion going. Right here. And then here we do have the main road. That probably goes then like so. Finally, a few more upgrades, especially here in the center. As long as we have some workforce. And then more to aldermen. These guys. These guys. And these guys. Darius is now exalted. And we have unlocked now the Older Council. A pretty nice building. And we haven't even built the Phenom yet for the knowledge boost. There it is, the drainage. Choose the Roman path in Albion though. So we need to do this once. And we could have this, for example, yeah, closer to my barracks here, it makes sense to have a bunch of upgrades for the Romans. So these guys here will be Mercators, just so that we get the inspiration out of that. There it is, now we can do it. And by the way, also we have unlocked now another area for research. And I think, yeah, we can now boost in plantations as well with aqueducts. So let's also queue this in right away. And while we're here, let's also increase now the fuel efficiency. All of that is possible because we now have also the Roman path in Albion. Opening 12 mines could be problematic. No, it's not. We would have that inspiration available as well to us if I want to choose it. Older man it is. That is one of my main goals for the series. Of course, it doesn't stop here because I'm enjoying this way too much. And yeah, we continue with the expansion of this city here in the next episode. And probably also the first stage of our grand amphitheater. Stay tuned.